Welcome back to Global Connections. My name is Elsa, and my co-presenter today is Nelson.
Thank you, Nelson. Hi folks, today we are going to provide you with some advice and look at what is involved in selecting flight academies in the financial aftermath, achieving a successful career as a professional pilot. Pat in Florida writes in to say he has done as much research as possible on flight academies and has received and read all the brochures and spoken to counselors. He will begin visiting them on his rounds. Which one is the all-around best? He has also tried looking at some blogs online trying to get some feedback from students, but it was not much help at all. Firstly, Pat, understand that most institutions offer a file service. Furthermore, most have been in business for more than a few years and have many success stories to tell. Choosing a flight academy is much like choosing an airplane to fly. All the manufacturers will get you from start to finish. What makes an airplane attractive could be a number of subjective factors: size, cost, comfort, and the like. While most training institutions will train you well, it's the other things that will help you make a decision.
For most, cost is paramount. Quotes from admission reps are rarely, if ever, guaranteed. One young pilot heard a pitch from an academy that the total cost would be $55,000 to $65,000. After $110,000 invested and almost 2 years as an academy flight instructor at $10 per instructional hour with no additional pay for endless paperwork and sitting through student practical flight tests, he did find a job as a regional airline first officer but is now stuck with crushing debt.
Reputation is right up there in importance. See how many regional airline affiliations the school has formed. If the academy is regarded highly, it will have a number of agreements with regional airlines to interview pilots who complete training. Ask for proof. The admissions folks should be willing to show you the letters of understanding between the airlines and the academy. Obviously, if a half dozen airlines welcome graduates to an interview with less time and experience than publish, that's good.
Location offers pros and cons. Some trainees would rather fly up north where they can find real weather, but they risk hanging around for days before the icing goes away, unless that school has flight training devices and simulators where training can continue even in the worst conditions. Many training airports in the south are very busy. Expect a significant increase in cost as you taxi to the other end of the county and are number 8 for takeoff behind 7 other school airplanes. Take a good look at the fleet. Is the academy using tired old aircraft, or is the flight line filled with newer machines sporting the latest avionics? Newer airplanes spend less time in the shop and inspect the maintenance facility. Is it clean and tidy? Are the classrooms bright and modern? Determine what advanced training is available. Certain schools will have a jet transition program as part of the curriculum that includes flight time in CRJ devices or even in jets like a citation. How much time must you serve as a flight instructor? Some academies require that you compete for flight instructor positions at the end of training, pay you little, and keep you on a leash for hundreds of hours before the school will shop your resume to the airlines. Finally, head over to the cafeteria without any school officials around and talk to the students. See what the school's reputation is. Are students and instructors treated like customers and professionals or worse?
In-person visits are an excellent idea. If you apply these strategies, your choice will become quite clear.
Mark from New York says, I am very interested in attending a flight school that has me sold on the training. The training will cost a lot of money. My goal is to become an airline pilot. I know I have to start off in the regionals and work my way up, but my concern is being able to take care of my debt while making $20,000 for 2 to 3 years while I try to climb the regional ladder. Do you have any advice on how I should plan to pay off the debt until I start to earn a decent living in the regional airlines? Well, Mark, your question has confounded thousands of would-be professional aviators and derailed the aspirations of countless airmen who have dreamed about flying for a living. There is no easy answer. There are so many factors to consider.
First, whatever you have been quoted for the total cost of training, add another 50%. An acquaintance enrolled in a name-brand academy based upon a quote of $50,000 to $60,000. By the time he left the school, the tab had grown to $110,000. This is not the lone example. These institutions don't intentionally misrepresent the true cost. Total expenditures depend on a person's individual aptitude for brain work and the manual skills required for flying an airplane, among other factors. Like the federal aviation flight time requirement for a private pilot certificate, consider the quote you received to be a minimum.
Secondly, supporting oneself during training is another very real consideration. Whether at an aviation college or an academy, a full-time commitment is required for an extended period of time.
Thirdly, what is the likelihood of locking down a job soon after the final chick ride is complete? Given the state of the economy and the fact that there are not many airlines hiring at the moment, there are many aspiring pilots stuck in the pipeline right now.
The Federal Aviation just completed one of its aviation industry forecasts indicating a sharp decline in activity in the near term, with a return to growth over the long term. The level of activity and demand in the long term, however, is not expected to snap back to levels published in the previous Federal Aviation forecast. The most significant factor preventing recovery to prior forecast levels is the state of the economy, both domestic and worldwide.
So, back to your question, Mark, how to pay off the training. If the total cost of earning all the federal aviation certificates and ratings is $75,000, the monthly payments over 10 years at 7% interest would be $870.81. At the 20-year payoff, it is $581.47 monthly, with a take-home pay of about $1,200 monthly. As a first-year regional airline first officer, you will be hard-pressed to support yourself and service the loan.
Here are some ideas to consider based upon advice direct from young regional airline pilots.
Save up for it. Don't go into debt. You will financially bleed to death.
Have a serious talk with Mommy and Daddy. Perhaps they will invest in you with a reasonable payback schedule.
Sell what assets are expendable. Get rid of the Harley, the real estate in Arizona, and whatever toys you can live without. Plow that money into your training.
A very plausible strategy is to develop an additional but flexible source of income, such as construction, house painting, eBay, janitorial services, or an online business. One fellow flying for a regional airline bought old houses, fixed them up, and sold them at a profit. He makes more money doing that part-time than flying.
Well, that's all for now, folks. For further information, please visit our website at flygc.info, where you can find a number of aviation reviews and related topics.
Yes, global connections.
Where aviation matters.
Thank you.